You probably didn't know this, but the management team I'm going to introduce you now is responsible for $7 billion worth of transactions in their career. And I mean responsible, not just involved in, but they were responsible. They've worked with the likes of the Lundin family, Ross Speedy, and many, many more. Now they've just struck a deal with Barrick Gold, and they're working on their next big success story. I'm joined by Hugh Stuart, and he's president of Montage Gold. You, it is great to see you. Thanks for joining us straight from site in Africa in Cote d'Ivoire. And welcome on SF Live. It's good to have you.
Yeah, good to be here, Kite, on a
Yeah,
warm, sunny Saturday morning in Cote d'Ivoire.
lovely, lovely. Yeah, you're joining us via satellite connection, so please bear with us if the video quality isn't as great. But I think audio should be good. You, we're doing a bit of a breaking news special slash introduction to the company because you put out drill results this morning, and we definitely have to talk about them because I personally find them quite sensational and very fantastic personally. But before we get ahead of ourselves and dive into the project results here, give us an intro to Montage Gold so we have a level playing field here.
Yeah, Montage is a relatively new company. We listed in October 2020 in Toronto. The story actually goes back quite a way. I actually pegged this ground back in around 2009 when I was running the exploration for Redback Mining. You referred to some of that success in the past. It went off into Kinross. We brought it back into Orca Gold, which is another venture that we had going, which have recently sold to Perseus. And we've been working on it. We spun it out into a private company. We've been working on it for the last few years. We delivered a feasibility study on a large-scale, low-cost gold operation in sort of central northern Cote d'Ivoire in February last year. But the real changer has been the acquisition of this ground that I'm sitting on at the moment from Barrick and Endeavour in the last few months.
No, fantastic. Yeah, no. Just real quick, level playing field, cap structure, real quick, and how much cash do you have in the bank?
We've got about 160 million shares outstanding. I think there's a few options, not too many, and we probably have somewhere between $6 and $8 million in the bank at the moment, following the deal we did with Barrick.
Fantastic. Yeah, you said you added to the ground that you already have, the Kone project. Give us a recap. What do you have right now? Sort of in terms of mineral resources, you said you have a feasibility out already, and then we're going to touch on the drill results, of course, that you put out this morning.
Yeah, the Kone Gold project really stems from that sort of discovery that was made a few years ago. The current resources are about 4.3, I think, indicated with a little bit of inferred. We delivered a feasibility study on a 3.4 million ounce reserve. It's a strange deposit. It's relatively low grade, but it's wide. It's very soft. The rock, whilst it is fresh rock, and the mine, as we project it, will produce in excess of 200,000 ounces over a 15-year mine life, and sort of probably 250,000 ounces over the first 9 years. But that project was relatively isolated in terms of the upside that could really change it and sort of improve it. So the deal we've done with Barrick and Endeavour over the course of the second half of last year has added about 900 square kilometers of very prospective ground, sitting on one of them, what I believe is one of the major gold structures in West Africa, and really has opened up the upside. It's delivered the upside. We've always known that the upside was here. So that deal has always been key to us. We managed to do it last year. We paid Barrick and Endeavour about $30 million in cash and shares. We've acquired 350,000 ounce 2 gram resource, which I'm sitting about a kilometer away from at the moment. But also we've acquired a large number of drill ready targets. Clearly, Barrick, Endeavour were looking for large scale things. We're really looking just to add high grade satellite deposits to the Kone mill. That 350,000 ounce deposit, grading around 2 grams, has the potential to add close to $200 million to the NPV of Kone, which were at $1,600 gold, was 750 million in the feasibility study last year. So a major deal for us. And obviously the drill results you've seen in the last coming out this morning are the first drilling we've been able to do on this project.
Fantastic. Yeah, let's get to the drill results in a second. Just the average grade at Kone, because I think it's important to sort of frame the conversation about the drill results that we're going to talk about in a second. What's the average grade there, and why do you think adding higher grade is important?
The life of mine grade for the reserve is about 0.7. We do mine it faster, so we're in the first 9 years, we're probably processing at a grade of 0.8, 0.85. But it's a large scale operation, it's a large process plant because it requires, what makes it work is the simplicity and also the economies of scale. So we've got a very low unit cost at Kone. So if we can add higher grade material, anything over 1.5 grams, because of that low cost, it makes a lot of money basically. So small satellite deposit, 50,000 ounces, 100,000 ounces, 300,000 ounces at anything over 1.5 grams has the ability to really positively impact on that economics, reduce the payback, increase the NPV, and increase the financeability of the project. So obviously a very different exploration mindset to what was previously sort of been going on in this sort of area. They were looking for 3 million ounce deposits. We don't have to do that anymore. We only have to find small satellites and we can deliver those improvements on the economics.
Absolutely. And you're delivering on grade as well. Like for me, West Africa always means lower grade. You mentioned Kone 0.7. 1 gram, 1.2 grams was always high grade for me in West Africa. And now I'm looking at the results that you put out this morning. 78 meters of 2.7 grams, 20 meters of 7.2 grams that you put out. That's phenomenal. Tell us more about it and what's the impact, of course.
We've in that first pass drilling, we drilled about 6,500 meters before Christmas with a couple of RC rigs. So some of those results from Gbongogo itself, which is that small resource, that looked pretty good. They're as good, if not a little bit better, than previous drilling in that ore body. But we also hit another 4 targets, what we're calling the sort of district scale targets. These are much earlier stage. There's no resource. They're really following up on some previous work. And that 20 meters at 7 at Lokolo main, sitting within probably 30 meters, 40 meters of surface. That's the type of thing we're after. If we can start stringing a few of those together, obviously we can build a small resource which is easily mineable. But we got all grade intercepts from all 4 prospects we drilled. And I'm on site at the moment, obviously looking at that drilling and planning the next phase to go back after those. We've got 1 RC rig that's just come back after Christmas, but we'll be adding a diamond core rig and an air core rig before the end of the month. So a lot of work to do to sort of keep developing those prospects, but also, there's a lot of other prospects that we're looking to drill.
Absolutely. First 6,700 meters out of this program. Like, what's the total size of the program? I think it's 25,000 meters, correct? And how is it progressing?
Yeah,
How's lap turnaround?
25,000 meters is the number we sort of pad out. To be honest, it depends on how we get on. If we're successful, if we find some good stuff, we'll drill more. If we don't, we probably won't drill that much. But we've got probably the lab turnaround's a couple of weeks. In Côte d'Ivoire, we've got a couple of good labs in country. It's easy to get the samples down there. So we can react fairly quickly and sort of move the rigs around as we need.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, sounds great. So I'm expecting results in the next 3-4 weeks. Any other catalysts in the meantime we should be expecting or looking forward to?
No, I think the main thing is really just sort of as we continue to build the prospect base here. We've probably got 10 to 14 sort of drill ready targets, but we're also doing a lot of work with the guys on site here just to sort of layer in other targets. So there's a fair amount of artisanal mining. I visited an area yesterday I didn't even know about. So there's new stuff coming up. We're still doing things like soil geochemistry. So really trying to generate a pipeline of targets that we can keep feeding into the drilling.
Fantastic. Yeah, and you're fully funded, I think. How much cash? I think you mentioned it earlier, but just to remind me.
$6 to $8 million in the bank at the moment. I think depending on the success of the program, we might look to top up. But obviously, we're very conscious of the share price, and when we do that, and as management and the directors of the company own a fair amount of stock, that's obviously in our interest too. So we're working hard on that.
Fantastic. Hugh, thank you so much for joining us right from site. You're at Gbongogo. Did I say it right? I always struggle with the names, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I hope I said it right. But really appreciate you joining us via satellite. Of course, it's not easy. But audio came through just fine. Video, you were a bit smaller than our usual guests on screen, but I think it worked out okay. So thank you so much, Hugh. I'll catch up with you again
Excellent.
probably in 3-4 weeks' time when you have the next set of results coming out. I'm really looking forward to that.
No problem. Thanks, Kai. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. And everybody else, thank you so much for tuning in. We were joined by Hugh Stuart of Montage Gold. As I said, the management team of the company generated, value in transactions over $7 billion US in their, in their career. They were directly responsible for that. They weren't just involved. It makes a big difference. A lot of people claim responsibility or claim credit for something they haven't really done, or they might have been a junior geologist on a project or a discovery. These guys have been directly responsible. So take a closer look. We are shareholders already. Check out our disclaimer. Please do that. And we'll have lots more updates coming from Montage here over the coming weeks and months. We'll be chatting with CEO Rick Clark in Vancouver at our studio coming week here as well. And thank you so much for joining us. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with more. Thank you so much.